Tonight, a plea deal for the President, Joe Biden's son, and the strong reaction to it. Hunter Biden will plead guilty to federal tax offences and avoid prosecution on separate gun charges. This is a deal he has struck with the Justice Department. It's expected he'll avoid prison time. So where will this leave the rest of the investigation into Hunter Biden? Well, I spoke to Fox News commentator and New York Post columnist Miranda Devine a little earlier. I started by asking her if these charges are relatively minor, the charges that he is facing. His charges are relatively minor compared with the allegations of fraud, racketeering, money laundering and others that have previously been uncovered by Miranda's investigations.
It's a slap on the wrist. It's being described everywhere as a sweetheart deal, to the point where the former Attorney General Bill Barr was on television today basically saying that the Department of Justice really needs to allay the concerns of a large swathe, half the country, that believes that this is just another sign of the sort of two-tier system of justice in America, where Hunter Biden, because he's the son of the president, is getting off very lightly when, after a 5-year investigation into all those issues that you mentioned, and he and his uncle, Jim Biden, have raked in tens of millions of dollars from China and Russia and Ukraine and so on. And this is all that comes out at the end of it. I think partly it's because Hunter Biden paid back $2.8 million last year to the IRS. That was money that he didn't have himself, he said, that he'd borrow, or he was given as a gift by his sugar brother, an entertainment lawyer in LA called Kevin Morris, who says he did it for altruistic reasons. So trying to uncover all these gifts that Hunter Biden has been given all his life. He's had a magic carpet ride, and now again, it's happened for him. He's off the hook.
Miranda, is this sweetheart deal ultimately about protecting the president? Joe Biden has claimed his financial life is separate from his son's, from Hunter's, but that's clearly not the case, and presumably any more serious charges would implicate the president.
Absolutely. I mean, this story, it's been made clear by the House Republicans who have been investigating the whole Biden corruption saga. This story is not about Hunter Biden, who is a sort of a sad case. He's a former crack addict and blew up his life in a million ways. It's really about Joe Biden, the president, who was involved in his family's influence peddling scheme when he was vice president, and introduced Hunter and met Hunter's overseas business partners and facilitated these very generous payments of millions of dollars from, America's adversaries, China and Russia and Ukraine.
The White House press secretaries have always been patronising and dismissive when asked about Hunter Biden. Even if this is a sweetheart deal, it's news that they can't brush off. How has the White House responded today?
Just one simple statement, basically quoting Joe Biden and Jill Biden and saying, they very much love their son and support him, and that's it. It's not just the White House. It's not just Joe Biden's flunkies that have been dismissive. It's Joe Biden himself. Pretty much the only reporter who's asking questions at the moment from the White House press gallery is the New York Post Washington correspondent Stephen Nelson, and he's buttonholed the president, who just refuses to answer questions in a press conference. Anytime that Stephen Nelson tries to ask a question of the president, he just laughs.
So with all these much more serious payments, money laundering allegations, foreign influence, could this just be the start? Could there be other charges?
I think not for Hunter Biden. I think his lawyers have said today that it's the end of the road for him, that's the end. And certainly in Delaware, the US attorney who spent 5 years there investigating Hunter Biden with a team of FBI people and a team of IRS tax investigators. He has said that that the investigation is still ongoing. Now, that really raises a lot of cynical eyebrows around the place, because I think Americans no longer trust that the Department of Justice or the FBI are doing the right thing when it comes to the Bidens or Democrats.